Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming pattern, and I think the upcoming pattern is going to feature some polar invasions, some Arctic blasts, some very interesting patterns. We're going to see a huge flip in the pattern. Even the Climate Prediction Center is on board, so I'm going to talk about all of that within this video. Now, before I get started with this video, though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do think weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. And I'd also highly recommend that you check out our very exciting store in the description and in the pinned comment down below. And then also our very awesome Patreon page where I just made a post about an upcoming southern slider pattern. We saw that for the beginning of January, and I do expect multiple chances at southern sliders for the second half of the month. So if you want to check that out, you can join our Patreon today in the description and in the pinned comment down below. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, how do you think this final half of January is going to go? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook here from our Climate Prediction Center. A lot of people want to see that validation from the Climate Prediction Center, so this is for the 21st through the 25th. Not looking too good for the east. In the west, definitely a lot of cold. But then as we get to the 8 to 14 day outlook, the 23rd through the 29th, you can see that we see plenty of cold up there for the Pacific Northwest, down through the north central United States and up into the northeastern and mid-Atlantic states as well, with some colder than normal conditions. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on, and we're going to start talking a little bit about a recap of how this winter has gone so far. I wanted to talk about that because a lot of people have kind of gotten the wrong impression of how it's gone. And then we're going to get into kind of the teleconnections and the forecast looking forward to see how the temperatures are going to look for the rest of January and through February as well. Now, I kind of wanted to recap here the Climate Prediction Center's January forecast, and this has pretty much gone the opposite of what they've said so far, but I do expect a little bit more of this pattern to show up. It's going to be much more suppressed than this, much more cold to the north, and I think that warm will be suppressed down to the very extreme southern regions of the southeastern states and the Gulf states. I think there will be a little bit of a warm setup, so this is a much exaggerated example of how the upcoming pattern will go. I think there will be a lot more cold to the north and a lot less warmth in the north, but also some less warmth in the south. I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Here is how the winter has gone so far, and you have to remember, meteorological winter starts on December 1st, not on like December 21st or whatever it is. So this is approximately the entirety of the winter that we've had so far. And if you take a look at it, it's pretty much gone the opposite as expected. We see cold really for the south central and southeastern United States, and then near normal conditions for the eastern United States, I guess up the east coast into the northeast. The further north you go, the more above normal those temperatures get. For the north central United States, far above normal temperatures. Those kind of gray and white shades there for North Dakota and Minnesota is 10 degrees or more above average. But for the northeast and the mid-Atlantic, it's only been about 1 to 4 degrees above average, which actually is very close to normal, especially for the mid-Atlantic there. You can see very light yellows. I mean, 1 to 3 maybe degrees above average so far. So really, a lot of people have felt like this winter has been much, much warmer than normal, but that just has not been the case, and that's a common misconception I've been seeing so far. So actually, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on, and we're going to compare it to the previous two winters so I can show you how big of a difference there's been. So here is last winter through the same point. So this is January 15th, so basically December 1st through January 15th of last winter. And as you can see, New England was pretty similar, but as you head south into the Ohio Valley and the mid-Atlantic, we were about 5 to 10 degrees above normal, so about twice as much above normal last winter through this point, twice as warm. Not even close. We're not even close to being as warm as the previous winter was through this point. And if we get a colder pattern like I'm expecting through the second half of January and through February, it's going to be even further from last winter. We might even cross into the below average before the winter's said and done, I think. For the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, honestly, we're so close to being normal that it's not going to take a lot of cold to push us back to the other side. Now, as we take a look at the winter of 2018 to 2019, so the winter before last winter, you could see that we also had those reds, which is again indicating about 5 to 10 degrees above normal. The only area that was doing better that winter than this winter was pretty much the northern interior New England regions, where they were actually about 1 to 4 degrees below normal through this point. Now, I don't think it actually closed out that way. I think we closed out on a warmer note that winter, so it ended up getting worse and worse and worse. But I just wanted to show you guys because I made a comment of the day. Well, I asked you guys a comment of the day. How do you think this winter compares to the previous two? And a lot of people were saying that this is the worst or the warmest of all three of those winters, but it's actually the snowiest and the coldest so far of all three of the previous three winters. Not saying it's been a great winter, but it's certainly been better than those three. All right, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move on and we're going to just take a look at how this December has gone by itself, how this January has gone so far by itself, and then we're going to get into the upcoming pattern. We're going to start talking about the teleconnections, the temperature anomalies according to our GFS ensemble model, and also the CFS model. We're just going to move on from that point forward. I apologize if you don't like kind of the statistics of weather, if you don't like looking back, but I felt like this was a very interesting topic just to kind of review how it's gone so far. A lot of people only can really feel what's going on outside of their house. They don't really have maps like this where they can actually see on a map what it's been like for surrounding regions, because your town might be different than what the surrounding regions are like. That's another important thing to note here. So here's how the December went, the entirety of December. This is the 30-day, this I guess is through the last day of November into the end of December. But what we see is that there was kind of the opposite of a southeast ridge, actually. There was kind of like a southeast trough. I mean, it's not necessarily that, but there was certainly cold air set up over the southeastern United States and the south central United States. It was near normal for the mid-Atlantic, and then a little bit warmer than normal for the very far northern northeastern United States. And then again, the north central United States was far above normal temperatures. The west was also near normal, kind of like the east coast. So it was warm in the central, colder on both coast, so on the other sides. Now let's take a look at how the 15-day anomalies through January 16th has gone. So this excludes the first day of January, but that's not going to impact, it's only 1/16 of how this January has gone, so it's not going to actually impact this map that much. We can only get 15-day anomalies, so that's the reason why I did that. But we see the southeast warmed up a little bit, and that cold shifted a little bit further west there for the Gulf states, but still just cold in the south, warmer the further north you go, especially up there for Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota. That's where we're like 15 to 20 degrees above normal there in those pinks. Look at Canada. Look at southern Canada, guys. Look at that. Far above normal temperatures there for the southern regions of Canada, and that's what's really blocked that Arctic air from being able to make its way in. Now we do foresee that breaking up a bit and allowing that cold air to come from the north into the United States, which is going to allow for much more potent cold air to make its way in. So we're going to be talking about that moving forward. We're going to take a look at the GFS ensemble model to see how the 20th through the 30th of January looks to go. Then we're going to move on to our CFS model, take a look at how February 1st through February 10th looks to go. And then finally, February 10th through 20th, and then even February 20th through the beginning of March. We're going to take a look at how that's going to go, and then we're going to take a look at those teleconnections to see how they look to go through the entire model run, and then we're going to close out the video. All right, now here we are taking a look at that GFS ensemble model, and this is the 20th through the 30th, like I said, and as you can see, it looks to go about exactly the opposite of how this winter has gone so far. We will see those warm temperatures to the south and colder enter into the north central United States and the northeastern United States. And look at that. The cold is able to connect up into Canada in the western regions. And that's what allows that cold air to cross through from the Arctic regions through Canada down into the United States. It's that blocking that hasn't allowed it to occur so far. And we do expect that to finally make its way in. Here's the 1st through the 10th of February here, and we're switching over to our CFS model, and it expects a lot of the same to occur. You see cold to the north for the northeast, especially there, and then the northwest and the north central, with some moderately below normal temperatures for the Ohio Valley, the plains, the mid-Atlantic. It's looking quite active and quite cold. By the time we reach the 10th through the 20th of February, keep in mind the accuracy really drops off here, but we're going to take a look just for educational and entertainment purposes, obviously. We see near normal conditions down there for the southeast, colder than normal still for the northeast, and especially the north central United States. So possibly the north central United States going to recover from the warm winter they've had so far. Let's just move that on towards about the 20th of February through the 2nd of March, and you can see a lot of the same persist all the way through the beginning of March. Let's take a look at those teleconnections quickly, because I wanted to take a little bit of a look at the reasons why this is occurring. And as you can see, A lot of just I guess a negative AO, which is our Arctic oscillation, is going to persist through the end of January. Now it appears it originally looked like this would cross back into the positive territory, but no, it looks to just stay negative pretty much through the end of January, which is going to allow for that cold air to enter into the United States once that blocking ends, which again we do expect that to occur. The NAO looks to also stay negative through the entirety of the rest of the month of January. And then our PNA, which in a positive phase, this brings warmer than normal conditions for the West. And in a negative phase, this brings colder than normal conditions for the West. You can see this looks to be positive until about the 19th, and then it crosses into the negative territory. This is going to allow for the West Coast, especially the Pacific Northwest, to cool down. And I expect you guys to get some cooler than normal conditions out there, also some snowier than normal conditions. And then also our EPO, which has been kind of in a positive phase, it looks to cross negative and then cross back positive. This is going to allow for multiple different patterns to pretty much occur for the United States, which is going to allow for a multitude of different patterns to set up between now and the end of January, creating snow opportunities for pretty much everybody with that negative AO coupled with that EPO as well. Now, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, with the snowstorm that is currently ongoing, how much snowfall do you expect to occur, the maximum, I guess? And Zeta Derv said, upstate New York will likely see the most snow with 15 to 20 inches. That is lake effect snow for the most part, by the way, enhanced by that storm. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Sebastian Tao, John Bembenek, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Alan Belemo, Adam S., Larry LePan, Donna Carnes, Cameron Marshall, and Aiden Mattis. Alongside our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Alan Sherry, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalessa, Michael Buell, Terry Curtis, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Kellen Manhart, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Alicia Davis, Mark J., and Luke Fallego. If you would like to be on this Patreon end screen, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comment down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.